I don't think he can hear us.
That used to be my type service.
I saw his head.
Coach Flo, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. I don't think.
But can you please commit some of your Wi-Fi to the high school?
Well, folks, now we know the service in Jackson is not the best. We got a dear administration. We got to get some Wi-Fi servers out there so Coach Flo can join the show. So, um, Detroit, I'm going to give you a quick. I'm going to give you a chance to ask one of the players a question.
Yeah, I want to go back to I believe it's Markavian. Man, what is before every game? What does a Friday feel like for you? I mean, are you kind of quiet? Are you emotional? Are you up? You ready to go? What is it like before snapping the
Uh,
ball or playing on Friday nights? How does it feel?
uh, it really depends on the situation, but sometimes I'm emotional. Most of the time, I'm quiet before a game, but I'd rather be quiet so I can think about who I'm blocking and what I'm going up against. But against that game versus Andalusia, I was tearing up and crying for that game. I was really excited. I was ready to go.
Yeah, I can imagine it's hard to hold emotion. You get a big game like that because I mean, let's just be honest. I know your coach probably tells y'all to block out all the stuff, but when you got us, the media that's kind of pushing this game, with two big teams like that, I imagine, your nerves are really ready for that night because that was a huge game, and I thought you guys played really well in that game, and I know Crow, I think he was a little happy too. He got some good yardage all night that night on the ground, and. So I'm sure Xavier he was glad to see those holes opening up.
Now, I got a question for EJ because there's been a big debate. Kind of like to me, I just need to know how do you pronounce your last name?
Me?
Yes, EJ.
Crowell.
Crowell. Okay, see now I know. I've been saying Crowell the whole time, but it's Crowell. Thank you, thank you. But another question for you: what is the goal that you set for yourself going into this season?
Um, Saying like getting ready for the game, the whole season, like getting ready for the region, bring the region championship, and like, they're getting ready for the whole season.
Right. Now I think Coach, we're gonna try Coach Flo one more time. Can can Coach Flo hear us?
Oh,
Come on, coach. Never hear. I don't think he's too happy with you. He can't hear you for real. I don't really know.
Oh, look, Coach, if you ever want to go into like being a face model, you're doing a great job at it right now. I'm telling you, that Olay facial cream that they show with
Oh
all
my
those
god.
actresses, I think you'll be great for that commercial right now. And she's just, I don't think he can hear us at all, Andrew.
I'm texting him now. I got you.
All right, yeah, you should text him. Um, Detroit, I'm gonna give you a chance to ask another question. Sorry, Aggie fans, we just can't get Coach Rose having issues not on our end, but on his end. So we're gonna work with him through that. Until then, we're gonna get to know your player. So I hope that's okay with you all. All right, Detroit, you got it.
Okay, you going back to me? All right. Talk about the summer workouts. Obviously you guys, it's not like being in school. Where you guys probably see each other every day. How have y'all communicated over the summer? Maybe you ain't always together every day, other than the summer practices and different things. But how have you guys been able to stay close bonded? Through the summer. And this is a question for any of you guys, whoever wants to answer. You can start and just going down the road.
Oh, I mean, we have like a football group chat.
Okay.
Yeah, we be texting the group chat all the time.
Well, listen now. Who talks the most junk in that group chat? Now I know there's somebody's got to be the that talks a lot of trash. Who would you say out of you four?
Me,
You?
Red.
Ed Chapman.
That's good. That's good. Um. So what has summer workouts been for you guys? Like, do y'all have like a certain schedule that you guys do, or how has that went this summer? I mean, can you give us a little in depth on that, maybe?
we've been starting at 8. That's what time we got to be up there around 6:45. But we start at 8. We at first we work out, then we go to the field and just work on it.
Hello?
You get Coach Flo back?
Coach Flo, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you to speak, and you can talk about whatever you want to, Coach.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I lost some my audio or something.
Well, Coach,
Can you guys hear me now? Am I good?
yes, sir. We can. We can
Gotcha.
definitely hear you. We were talking to your players while you were having the technical difficulties. A great group of guys you have down there in Jackson, Alabama. Just give us your thoughts on the off-season summer workouts and going into the season.
Went out again.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't ask the question. That's part of the problem.
Hey, Floyd, you know what this reminds me of?
No, we're not going there. This is not. I'm not. This it's probably me, but we're not going to discuss that. Don't you dare discuss that on here. Don't dare. Please don't. Please don't. I had a great week of church. Let's not. Let's not. Goodness, this is what Andrew does behind the scenes too, folks. This is just what he does behind the scenes as well. Irritates me on purpose. All right, Andrew, take it away.
I'm sorry. But this can be any question for you players. Kind of going back to last season to now. Obviously, last year, bad taste in your mouth. All of you were a part of the team. High expectations, were the favorite to win 4A at the time. Now you're going in this year, a clear favorite in 4A. Everybody's returned. You have EJ, Landon, Keon is back, Junior Payne's back, McCavian's back. What is y'all just a focus this off season? Have I used that for motivation? And what has been the main focus this year as far as the coaching staff and the players about trying to overcome that and live up to what this team is capable of?
Getting the blue belt, but first we got to take it one game at a time, and not overlook the opponent that we play.
And I'm going to focus it to Keon real quick because I know you've had a big recruitment so far this summer and this spring. What has it been like for you on this journey so far? And being one of the people that, I mean, honestly, 3 years ago, nobody really talked about to becoming one of the best wide receivers in the whole entire country.
My recruitment been going pretty good. After my commitment, I just started focusing on high school football after that. Like on the off season, I started focusing on that.
And you guys had a tough receiving core last year. I know I watched y'all play against T.R. Miller. Michael got to watch y'all against Booker T. Washington. Obviously, Detroit watching y'all against Andalusia. It's tough to guard you guys. I mean, there's no secret about it. Y'all got one of the best receiving cores in 4A, one of the best DB cores in 4A. What gives you guys worth ethic, not just in the fall, but going to the season? What does that entail to make sure y'all on top of y'all's game and not falling off year to year, making sure y'all's best when the fall comes?
What is that? What is that? Why did you listen?
Can you repeat that? We went out.
I don't think they know what you tell me.
Hold on, can you repeat that?
Oh,
Going into the season, how do y'all make sure that y'all on top of y'all's game the season comes as far as making sure that last year y'all on the best wide receiving cores and not losing a step and trying to get better for this season?
we're just working because we ain't worried about what everything else going on. We worry about how we gonna get better, how we gonna win games, stuff like that.
Floyd, I'm gonna throw back over to you.
Well, I have just enjoyed being able to see Coach Flo try so hard to get on. He thinks he has it, but then he has to get off. Coach Flo, I've gained so much respect and admiration for you because you just don't quit. Because I would have said, you know, forget it. I would have said forget it like that. I would have said, yeah. So, Coach Flo, thank you for keep on trying. We hope to get you on so we can talk to you. We got over 100 people watching, so I know they are eager to hear from their head Aggie
Hey, I
in
will say,
charge.
I did send a link to Boa Butt, so if he wants to get on here and take Coach Flo's position on helping us talk and be with these players, you're more than welcome to. Keep the trash talk at a minimum, is all I ask.
So I guess my question is going to now Mr. Blake, and we talked about the off season. Detroit kind of alluded to last season, but it's a brand new season. Last season does not exist. It's in the books. We're not going to dwell on that. It's a brand new year. It's a brand new mission. The mission is to get to Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. But first, you have to take on the first game, one game at a time. That's the motto for every team, for every coach around the country right now. But your first game happens to be against the Saraland Spartans. What has Coach Flo talked to y'all about? What has been his message as you start to get ready for the Spartans who contend always in Class 6A?
Well, Coach Flo been saying we feel confident versus Saraland, but we also know Saraland not a pushover. Probably it's gonna be a battle. Most definitely gonna be a battle. We've been prepping all summer, and I know we got a good shot and chance of winning.
EJ, what about you guys?
Yeah, I was about to say, any other player want to answer that question? Feel free to.
How we feel about Sarah, man? I feel good about playing Sarah, man. I feel good about playing Saraland. It's a big game on the schedule for us. And I just got to come in playing hard. That.
We really focusing on it like this as a game. Like you're not acting like it's a championship, and then we going out there to win. Like it don't matter who we playing.
All right, I guess I'll take it. Folks, it's the Jackson Aggies. We're going to keep on trying to get Coach Flo. It's supposed to be Coach Flo, but it's the Jackson Aggies. We're glad to have them on. Don't go anywhere. Go get some water. Go grab some popcorn because the Jackson Aggies are on the air. And good evening, folks. We're back here. Andrew Etheridge, Detroit Web. Charles Hollywood Wilkerson, he's in the comments. Charles is recovering from surgery. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. I talked to him today and yesterday. He's in good spirits, and we can't wait to have him back on the show soon. Charles, we miss you. Can't wait to have you back on. And, of course, I am Michael Floyd. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Jackson Aggies. And, Detroit, you look like you got a question right now.
Well, I not really more a question, but I was just sitting here looking at the record between Jackson and Saraland, and it's pretty interesting from what I come up with. The last time these teams met, Floyd, was in 2013. Jackson won that game 42-17, and Jackson is, as what it stands right now from what I've looked up, Jackson is 4-0 all time versus Saraland. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Wait, hold on, Detroit. You just dug up something right there. I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's just what I'm looking at here, 4-0 all time. Now, I'm not saying, anything towards Saraland, but that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Give me Jackson by 35.
Floyd, you just passed the torch to Detroit for the most disliked person on Powerhouse.
Give it to me. Wow, I did not know that. But in all seriousness, Saraland is a good team. I know I said Jackson by 35. I was just clowning or just joking. But wow,
Well, how many times do you
That's a
find a
good
team
question.
like Saraland that's 0-4 against somebody?
Against
You know,
somebody.
I mean,
Well,
that's
I
pretty
hope they're
under.
watching the show because they're gonna replay this on repeat because we didn't
Oh
say it.
no, they're watching. It's okay. They're watching.
Well, this nothing has to affiliate any with Jackson players or the Jackson coach. This is just
Oh,
something
there
I
he
was going to
is. He's
mention.
calling now.
Hey,
Go ahead and talk to him. I'm gonna come back. Come back and walk around.
Thanks, Desmond.
All right, Coach. Coach, whatever you, Coach. I'm just gonna be quiet and we're gonna treat this like a media day, and I'm just gonna give you an opening statement.
I hadn't been listening to the guys. Have they been getting on me or something?
No,
they've
but
been laughing at you.
but Detroit just kind of put out some rat poison out there. He just
I
found
do
out
not.
that Jackson is 4-0 all time against Saraland. I'm sorry this got out before the game started, but I'm sorry about that, Coach. And then I said Jackson by 35, and then I kind of calmed down. But
Right.
I'm gonna let you give your opening statement, Coach.
Yeah. All right. So thanks to Desmond Dickinson helping me get online here. So, hey, look, we're just excited. We're trying to get to the season. It's hot right now. We actually, because we went through spring training, we went a couple of days this week. We're not starting this week. We'll start next week. We can get in pads next Wednesday and stuff. So, it's that time of year. Everybody's hopes are high. We want to get to that Saraland game. I talked to Coach Kelly about it. We were considering moving the game maybe to a Thursday night. Said, hey, we'll get everybody in town, and he said, Coach, they're all going to be there, and I finally agreed with him. I said, yep, and so it's going to be packed. It's going to be a great high school opening kickoff game for us and Saraland, and we're going to see what we're made of. I think we got a good team. We got a lot of our core guys coming back, so it's going to be one of those games that it's going to be a great kickoff.
And just a disclaimer before people lose their britches in the viewing world, we just having fun. We don't have a vendetta against anybody. We just running our mouths just to run it. We just having good old fashioned fun. There's nothing wrong with good old fashioned fun. Now, Coach Flo, this offseason, what has been an objective for you during this offseason?
One of the big things is just seeing our guys mature, and maturity comes several different ways. One's physical maturity. We've been working in the off season. We've had a really good summer at our 7-on-7s. We won 2 of them when we went to. We lost one early. Actually lost to St. Michael. So that was at West Florida. That was our first one of the year. And then we come back and we won a 7-on-7 at South Alabama, and then we won one up at Alabama State. So guys have been doing really good. We actually played in another one over here, our local SCA 7-on-7. That Leroy hosted that one, and we looked like we were supposed to look when we went over there and played with them guys. So I think our guys are maturing. They're all good guys, but they've been offered college scholarships, and so we're just working on how they handle that, how they handle themselves in the public on social media, and just a lot of that stuff. Where just trying to get them guys to take that next step, really working on who they are as people, their brand, and just still trying to talk team, and that's where we're at right now. So in June, we did a lot of throwing, a lot of 7-on-7. When we got into July, we started turning back more towards team, and now we're right where we're supposed to be here in August, first of fall camp, getting ready to go into this first game.
And Coach, looking at 4A Region 1, you lose T.R. Miller, you lose Bayside Academy, you pick up W.S. Neal, you pick up Mobile Christian, who obviously just won 3A last year. They lose legendary coach Ronnie Cottrell, so it's kind of a new team, I guess you could say. Lost one of their players, transferring to Viger, lost another one of their players early this spring. Looking at your new region and your schedule, what's, I guess, the biggest difference, the new team added to your region and kind of the new outlook on the region in your eyes?
Both Neal and Mobile Christian have been in our region. They were in it too the cycle before, so we're familiar with both of those teams and both of their programs. So it's not anything that's really going to be new to us. We lose a tough Miller team, but add a Mobile Christian team. Same thing with Bayside and Neal. So to me, those are pretty equal swaps. So what we're, in order to try to win a championship, which is one of our team goals, the first thing you got to do is win your region, and you got to win your area play or region play for us. So none of our goals have really changed, even though with a new region, it's just a couple of the teams have changed. But I think all of our goals are still going to be the same. Hey, we got to go undefeated in the region. And so our main goal, we got a big Saraland game coming up, and that's been good. It's great for our fans. It's great for a lot of the media and social media guys like yourselves talking about winning by 35 or something. It's like, no, that's not. I don't expect that game to go anything like that. It's going to be two good teams out there trading blows. Is kind of how I feel about it. But in reality, that's game 0. We're trying to win game 15, and that's what our mindset is as a coaching staff.
Floyd.
It is the Jackson Aggies and Coach Flo. The 2024 season is just around the corner, guys, and these Jackson Aggies open up their season at Saraland, Alabama. Folks, I don't think there's a tougher team. There's not a more physical team, a more well-disciplined team in 4A than the Jackson Aggies. I'm just being honest with you, Coach Flo. You do such a great job of these guys, the culture you're building. Now, I know my reputation might not be all that in Jackson, Alabama, but I hope I can repair that this season and even later on the show when we give our projections. But Coach, I'm going to ask you one question, and then I'm going to give it to Detroit to ask you a question. Let's talk about the great fans that make up the Jackson Aggie fan base.
Yeah, that's actually one of the conversations me and Detroit was having before we came on the air here. But he was talking about coming to the Andalusia playoff game, and I said the game before that was our homecoming game. And last year we ended up going undefeated regular season, and the fans, they just show out. We're going to have great support no matter what we're doing. But in a year where we're having a good season, they're really going to double their efforts, and that's where we just got to have great history and tradition here, and all that stuff predates me, and it's part of my job is to uphold that legacy, and we've got players to do it, and so sometimes this is one of the things I learned from Coach Dubose when I worked with him at Central Phoenix City. At the beginning of each year, you got a handful of teams that actually have a legit shot to win that championship at the end of the year. And at that time, we was at Central Phoenix City. It was us, McGill, Hoover. Thompson wasn't quite on the scene at that point. But now here we are at 4A Jackson. I've got my own team, and this group is the group that our seniors was here as 7th graders when I got here. And so I've coached these guys all the way through. And, they're my guys. They know what is expected. Our seniors have given great leadership. Nylan Williams, Blake, Markevian Blake, Junior Payne, Amarian King, Kawan Pugh, just a lot of these guys that have been with me a long time. They know what is expected. They know how to win. And so that's where we're at as a program is, just trying to take that next step, get over that hump, because we do have championship aspirations, but it's not the only thing. We're going to take it one game at a time, and that was the whole mantra last year, and we felt really good about that year, minus the loss to Booker T. So just coming back, fighting hard, doing things right, holding these guys accountable. They're gonna do right because they know what our community means. They've seen it, they've lived in it, they've grown up in it. Their dads, their uncles, their grandmamas, they all went to school here at Jackson. That's what's great about small town football like we're in here, is that there's just so many pieces of people all around. Whether it's your banker or the guy that does dry cleaning, they all come to Jackson, graduated from here, and have a lot of pride in it still.
And Coach, you're one of the.
It's Detroit turn.
My fault.
Well, Coach, I want to talk about just outside of football. What does Coach Flo like to do for fun? Do you like to play golf or anything like that, or?
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm in a part of my just life where My own kids have really taken precedence. So, like last weekend, we moved my son up to Auburn. He's going to go to Southern Union up there.
War
And,
Eagle.
right,
Oh boy.
and then transfer over hopefully to Auburn in a couple years. So, but in the spring, I coach track, but also my son Grady, my daughter Adeline, she'll be a senior this year. They play baseball and softball, so it's been a lot of hey, following them around, getting them to games and practices, and that's those two are coming right on the heels of my oldest daughter, which is at Troy now. So just really just this time of life for me and my wife April, which works here at the high school. It's been really fun because our kids have been really involved in it. So, saying what I do on my pastime, it's really just been a lot of family stuff, and it's a lot of ball, a lot of sports, a lot of school events. My wife runs the DECA club here, and she took our kids to California on a DECA trip, and just being supportive of everything that we've got going on, just being in a small town and in a school where our kids have a lot of opportunities. So I've been telling people I've been real proud of that as far as my kids are concerned, because all three of them will have graduated from Jackson High School. Adeline, my youngest, she's a senior this year. So, in terms of free time, I don't have it right now, but that's okay, because a lot of what I've done and the choices that me and April's made as a family was to be at a school like Jackson and to be able to pour into our kids' lives. And along with that, it's all the kids that are around it too. So it's been fun and it's great. And, I don't know what I'll do next year because Adeline, she plays volleyball. They'll be kicking up this fall, and she'll finish the year with softball. So next year I'm going to be looking for some games to do. Might actually pick up my golf game or go fishing from time to time.
I hear you, Coach. Well, I just want to commend you and say you're doing a great job. I got to see it firsthand last year there against Andalusia, and I know from one game it's sometimes hard to tell a lot, but I really like the direction you taking that team in, and I just appreciate the hospitality last year when you guys just accepted me in to come on the sidelines and just be a part of the coverage, and I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, all the guys that, most of the people doing what you guys do right now, y'all do it because you love it. Y'all are in it for the kids and the right reasons. And, everybody's got their own allegiances, So if you're a Miller guy, then be a Miller guy. That's fine. It's no problem, but just be in it for the right reasons. And that's where you guys are. And all you guys are always welcome on the sideline with us.
Thank you,
Hey,
Coach.
they can call me an Aggie super fan, Coach. There's no other school I'd rather be wearing. I'm just kidding, but Floyd's gonna get mad at me for saying that. But Coach, this you're one of the lucky coaches this year in 4A, as I'm gonna say, because you didn't lose much production from last year. You have EJ returning, you have Keon returning, you have Junior Payne returning, Landon Duckworth, obviously the guy everybody talks about, he's returning. So what's been kind of the focus this year? You have your starting quarterback again, you're running back, and you're going to have another year next year. So what's kind of been the focus this season, talking to your two guys in the backfield about just maybe some leadership and kind of the goal for them this season?
So Landon's the quarterback. He gets all the praise, all the glory, and all the blame. It's just part of that position. And just, I said it already, just him maturing, though. Coach Moore's our offensive coordinator, and just being the second year of the offense, that's where we had a similar situation. We made a semifinal run, got put out by Viger a couple years ago with Walter Taylor. Our coordinator then was Drew Tranchina. He moved on down to St. Paul's now. But they, in that second year of that offense, everything just clicked. The game got real slow for Walt. He was the 4A player of the year that year. And so I see a lot of similarities this year going into the second year with Coach Moore running the offense and with a high-powered quarterback like we have. There's just a lot of similarities to me where they're actually speaking their own language, and the receivers understand it. They have it's just regular play signaling in the end, but from somebody that has an untrained eye, they're out there I don't know, just throwing up a lot of different signals. But they all know what they're doing. Where we really progressed at was learning coverages, learning when to break our routes off, finding the dead area in the zones and getting in there, and then Landon just trusting his receivers, trusting what he's seeing. And this summer, I really got to say that Landon was the best quarterback I've seen. We've seen some good ones. Gunnar Rivers was really good, but Landon just top to bottom was the best we've seen all summer. KJ Lacey was good. We seen him one time, and so I point out these guys because they're actually on our schedule. But another guy that offensively that we're really looking forward to, because you named all the guys already, but Juicy Jamarian Gordon, he's going to come over and play in the slot for us. So he's a guy that he was committed to Bama. He flipped his commitment to UCF this past weekend, so that was a big big deal. But he's known as a defensive back, but he's going to come on the offensive side, and he's had a really good summer, really explosive. He's a top knowledge, top heady guy, top skill guy for us. So that's going to be big.
And I know I say this every time we get a chance to have EJ on the show, but we take credit for you blowing up like you did. I joked with Floyd about it. When we gave you that Player of the Game trophy, the next day kind of just blew up for you. I told Coach Flo too, and I told Torres about it. I kind of just take credit for it.
His ego already too big, EJ. So don't hype it up anymore.
I'll tell you a little quick story about EJ. Last night, I'm laying in bed, and it flips over to August 1st, and EJ sends out a text. He probably should have been asleep, but we didn't have practice this week. We gave him a few days off before we start fall camp. But he sent a text out to the coaches saying, hey, it's officially game month now. And so, he told me in the playoff game against Booker T, he said, Coach, I'm about to go down and score. And dang, if he didn't do it. And then, of course, we look back at it now. It's like, dang, he scored too quick but he was on a mission at then. So I told our OC, we had a lot of talks about it with like EJ and Red and just these high profile guys. But one thing, like I coached Red and track, EJ too, but it was so fun to see Red just say, hey, I'm going to go beat this guy. He ran the 400 for us, and he broke the school record, and they were on the state champion 4x1 team. And so these guys have that second gear that they can get to, and it's like, hey, I'm going to do this, and then they take over the game. And I'm just excited this year because I'm a fan of football, and I actually got a couple of guys right here that are doing things right. They're great kids. They're from great families. They're humble, and they want to win a championship. So, I said, if the game gets tight, give it to one of them guys because they're going to make a play.
And, Coach, I got 2 more questions. I'm going to hand it back over to Floyd. But the first one, obviously, Jackson's a favorite to win this year. Last year was a lot of talk about your team. How have you kind of blotted up the noise for your team this year? And obviously social media is a big deal. So how have you kind of controlled them and let them know that predictions aren't everything? You always got to line up and play the game of football.
Yeah, and that's the drum that we're beating right now. And as we get into the school year, school's about to start. We'll start school next Wednesday. But, hey, for them, it's going to be business as usual. And so blocking out the noise, it's like, hey, part of that is, hey, you just got to go to class, be a kid, be a student, be a regular dude. And then they know what the expectations are. So I like to say that we like to communicate with these guys really well. We've talked to each of them individually. We talk to them on things like leadership and being vocal. But it's just that constant trying to do things right all the time is the idea. But I'll say a guy like Juicy, which was a Bama commit, and but he's been a leader in the weight room for us. So he gets after it. He works hard, and again, that goes to credit back to their parents and just his team. But I think when you got a lot of high profile guys here like we do, they're pushing each other, and that's something that. Hey, they both play like a lot of these skill guys. They play both offense and defense, and they don't like to get beat. And so they get out there and battle every day, and that's been something good to see. And look, these are our high-profile guys. They got on it early, but we've got several other guys that can get out there and run around and do things. Matter of fact, one of our 4x1 guys is Red's brother. We actually call him Black, and he's going to start at corner for us. So that's his twin brother, and so we're looking forward to some of these guys that are not as well known stepping up and making plays, because we got a lot of those guys too that's just going to play a big role. But in terms of not getting too heady, I think just by coaching them hard. But we had this conversation this past week about, hey, just allowing yourself to be coached hard, and these guys, they take it. And so it's good because we can get on them, and their parents are right behind us with it. So it's been a lot of communication, a lot of just being knowing what's going on with the guys, and then it helps too when you got a guy like Jimmy Martin or Therese Andrews that are in the social media scene and in the community, and they know what's going on, and they're able to talk with these guys too. It just means a lot, and that's the reason why these guys are important coaches on our staff too.
And Coach, I got to see it firsthand in the spring game against Fairhope. You have a new defensive line, is what everybody can call it, but he added some guys in. Talking about the defensive line this upcoming season, that you had to replace some guys that graduated last year, and now you get to kind of have some new faces there, but they look pretty strong against Fairhope in the spring game.
Yeah, so we gave up 98 points on the season last year through 12 games. It was the best our defense had been in 30 years. That's a big credit to Davey Mosley. But a big piece of that was our defensive front. Several of those guys were 3-year starters. And so, we knew going into this year that we lost them guys. One of the defensive tackles, Brandon McReynolds, is going to Bethel. We had a linebacker, Isaiah Hill, that signed with Tuskegee. So, proud of those guys, rooting for them, but we got to replace them. Now, one of the things that we were able to do is we picked up D. Williams. We call him Country, but he had played with these guys in rec ball. His mom had lived up here at one time, and so they decided that what was best for them was to come back up, and he's got a Tulane offer and a Central Florida offer, and dude, when you take a guy like that and plug him in, that makes any team better. So it was kind of one of those odd things where, hey, he knew it's this group of guys. We got Power 5 guys, and he just fits right in with them, and he had played with them in rec ball, and so that's what he wanted to do. And we're like, well, look, you got to do things the right way, and they understood that from the get-go with their family, and so they made the move back up to Jackson out of Mobile. So, that's a big loss for whoever lost them, but for us, it's a big pickup. But then Coach Davey Mosley, his nephew, actually moved over. He'd been over at Jackson Academy. He'd been wanting to come back, and it's one of those things where you play at one of the AISA schools, and you're not quite sure how you're going to fit in with us and this type of football. But man, he's come on. That's T.R. Hodge. He's been really explosive. And then we had several of our guys that played big roles for us last year. Zamorian Stevens and Raymond Hunt. These guys, they're just good, solid 4A football players. And so you add a guy like Scooter, Laquan Wisenhunt behind us. He's actually with this junior class. He's a 100 tackle a year type guy. He's our Mike linebacker. And then you start putting these pieces together, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, we got a really good chance to have a good defense again. After losing about half of our guys on defense on the defensive side, so we were really fast in spring. We went from a 4-man front to playing more of a 3-man front, but these guys they were all over the place. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do. We know that if we're going to be good, we're going to have to be good on offense, especially early on this year. While our defense, we got a lot of new guys and new faces over there. We got a chance to be good defensively, but we just need a little bit of time on that side and just some reps and some experience to put it all together. But we got some talent, and that's what we're excited about.
Well, Coach, I guess people think I'm over here asleep, but I am not asleep. It's just on my screen, Coach Flo is at this bottom corner, so I'm looking down. I'm not asleep. I promise y'all, I am not asleep. Someone said, hold on. I'm really trying to read these comments. We finna flood y'all. Sure, I don't know who we is, but we welcome all viewers from all across everywhere. So, Coach, before we wrap it up, my last question to you is: what is your message to the Jackson faithful before the season begins?
Hey, it's the same thing as it is every year. Hey, come out and support these guys. They've done the work. We got a couple more weeks of fall camp, but the work's going to be put in, and they know that. I know what they expect, and they know what they're going to get when they get one of these teams on the field. We're going to be explosive, and that first game it's going to be rocking. And so you better get your tickets early, and we're going to have a good time with it. It's going to be a great year. Landon. Landon and Red both played in Birmingham in the basketball championship, and they come to me and said, "Hey, we're going to be back up here in Birmingham." And I said, "Let's do it. 2024 is a year." And so that's what we're talking about, you know. And of course, we can't just talk about it. There's work to be done, but look, we got the pieces to do it with. We're excited. It's in the preseason. Hopes are high for everybody, and our hopes are as high as any. So. Jackson faithful, if you ain't excited right now, you better get excited and come on. Let's this football season can't get here soon enough.
And
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Jackson Aggies that have took time out of their evening to join us. I know Detroit gave. Look, I personally love Saraland. I love everybody. I love every school we cover. I know Detroit gave Saraland some type of bulletin board material saying Jackson is 4-0 against the Spartans. So I'm gonna return it back to you, Coach, and give y'all some bulletin board material. And I'm going to say, as of right now, the spread for Jackson at Saraland is a 35-point favorite. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So there is your bulletin board, Coach. Y'all use it. Y'all do what you want with it. Look, we gave both squads bulletin board material, and the next one was Saraland was a 35-point favorite. Folks, Coach Flo, as always, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks, guys. Go Aggies, and no, you're not welcome on the sideline anymore.
Folks,
oh,
we'll be back. We'll be back.
Detroit, we'll let y'all in. All right.
Oh,
Folks, we'll be back to give
Hey,
our
I'm coming on
projections.
homecoming. It'll be all right.
Yeah,
We'll be
Andrew,
back.
you're definitely welcome. Thanks, guys. Go Aggies.
Go Aggies. Thank you, Coach. We'll be back. And welcome back, folks. What an exciting show we have had so far, and we are looking forward to what is to come on here. Detroit Way Up, Andrew Etheridge. I am Michael Floyd, and thank you all for joining us tonight. The Jackson Aggies just got off the air. As you can see their helmet behind me. I just will make a disclaimer once again. We all just try to have fun here. No, just a lot of I almost said the bad word. It's all, something and giggles around here. So we just have a great time and love talking about these young men, these young coaches as football season comes to around the corner. All right, folks, now it's time to give you our projections and predictions. I don't know how Andrew wants this to flow, but Andrew, you changed shirts that fast? See, that's why you muted. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrew and tell us how he wants us to go about this next part.
To me, it's the best part of the year because every time we do this, it stirs up controversy. Anytime any media outlet does this, people like to throw shots and shade, whatever the case may be. But we're going to give our 1A through 7A predictions, favorites to win their classification, and also sleeper teams that we think could make some noise, not win the state championship, but maybe even ruin some team seasons and make a run that nobody expects to. But I'm going to throw it over to Detroit first. And then we're going to, since Charles cannot be with us tonight, we're going to go over his predictions and sleeper teams. And then I'll follow up, and then Floyd will too.
Okay,
And then,
so
then Beckett said he'll give his too once I'm done.
are you going to post these?
Yeah, I got yours right. Hold on, Detroit. Where did yours go?
Yeah, because I ain't got where I can see my picks. I mean, I kind of know who I got, but
There you go. There's Detroit's. If you're a betting person, do not go with Detroit's picks. I'm going to tell you.
What? Why would you say that? Why would you even say that? But okay, go ahead.
So, preseason, we hear it all the time. I mean, these are just preseason predictions. A lot's going to change. You can't really pay attention to a lot of these predictions in preseason because it will change. You know that. We saw it last year. I mean, how many of us thought last year that Jackson was going to go up there and get beat by Booker T? I guarantee none of us would have picked that game.
Why
We would
not
all pick
BTW?
Jackson. So, I just went through my picks here, look, and I took Central Phoenix City in 7A. I think, it's hard to pick against those guys. Took Clay Chalkville in 6A. But, you look at Clay Chalkville and Saraland, you can reverse either one of those. I almost picked Saraland, but I went ahead and went with Clay Chalkville. Then I took Moody in 5A. You missed right there. Of course, Jackson to me in 4A. St. Michael's is a team that's going to surprise a lot of people. 5, Hillcrest and Evergreen. I'm going to talk a little bit about that one and TR Miller because any one of those three teams, in my opinion, I picked 5 to win it. Coach Benefield's done a tremendous job at 5. And, 5's been in this area before where they went from 2A to 3A and they won a state championship in 3A. So 5 moving up to 3A is not going to be a big deal for those guys. They got Logan Anderson coming back. He's a great running back, a physical running back. They're going to have a really good offensive line. I picked Hillcrest. I think Hillcrest got 18 returning starters coming back on this team. You could easily put TR Miller, pencil them in to win it. I mean, they got a load of guys coming back. They got a really good quarterback coming back, got a running back coming back, Miles Johnson. So 3A for me and those three teams is kind of a up in the air type thing. I went to 2A. I took Morris Hill. I think Morris Hill is one of those teams that kind of like Fife. They're always in it. Their attention to detail. They're hard-nosed football. And Beckett is just going down in the background, isn't he? And then in 1A, I took Leroy. I think Leroy deserves – I mean, they're the defending champion. What can you say about Leroy? I know they've lost a lot, but at the same time, they'll reload. And I took Elba to be that team to be right there with Leroy in 1A. So that's kind of my picks. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, you kind of wrong on those. But and then we'll talk about the Clay Chalkville. I took Tuscaloosa County. Here's the reason why. I think Coach Holcomb has done a really good job at at Southside and him moving over there. Tuscaloosa has a lot of talent. Now I'm not saying Tuscaloosa is going to play for a state title this year, but give him a little time, and I think he's going to get over there and he's going to make an impact in that classification. So that's why I took Tuscaloosa County kind of as a sleeper pick to make a little noise this year in that classification.
Woo!
A lot to wrap up there.
Like I told you, if you're a betting person, go with Detroit Webb's picks, like I said earlier. But going off, so Hollywood can't be here, so I'm gonna make fun of Hollywood for a second. Hollywood sent me one of his picks earlier, and instead of Coosa Christian, he put Coco Christian. So Coco Christian must be a new school in 2A I don't know about, Floyd. I think he was talking about Hershey's, and he had Coco on his mind all day because he ain't been at work so long. So I think that's why he had it on here. But Charles has Elba winning 1A. Alvin Henderson returns. Big workhorse for Elba. He's carried Elba in the regular season for such a long time. But he has Elba winning 1A. Let me go 2A. He has Reeltown. Obviously last year going up to the state title game. Or 2 years ago, my bad, sorry. And he has them winning 2A and Coosa Christian being a team to watch in 2A, which I do agree with that one. 3A, he has Fife winning it all in Birmingham with TR Miller being runner-ups to Fife. And he said if TR Miller can stay healthy, they are also a team that could win it all in 3A. 4A, he has Jackson, Pleasant Grove. They're making the jump down to 4A. He has them being a runner-up in 4A. A team last year in 5A who I believe made to the quarterfinals or semifinals has him a team of watching 4A that nobody's really talked about out of the North. 5A, he has Montgomery Catholic. Charles, I'm surprised you said that. He has Montgomery Catholic. Shout out to Coach Johnson and the crew at Montgomery Catholic. And he has Ramsey as a team to watch. Also, they've been a team to watch for a very long time in 5A. Clay Chalkville, obviously being the team in 6A. Gulf Shores making the jump to 6A. That's his team to watch. And he has Thompson winning it all in 7A. Again, if you are betting people, please do not bet on our predictions. Floyd, do you want me to go for you, or do you want you to go for me? Me? You're muted. That's what you get. Haha.
I'm not muted. You just go ahead and go.
Okay. My predictions 1 through 7A. I'm gonna start with 7A and work my way down. Central Phoenix. Actually, I ain't put them on the screen yet. I got Central Phoenix City with a team to watch. I can't put them up, Floyd. Team to watch in 7A, the Hoover Buccaneers. Obviously, they got a new coach, first year at Hoover, but I think they are going to be a team to watch in 7A. 6A, Gulf Shores makes the jump to 6A. I don't think it's going to be a problem for them. I think they have a strong team coming back. Coach Husbands does an amazing job. Ball at the beach, as they say. I think they, go to 6A and dominate with Pike Road being a team to watch. Pike Road last year went to the semifinals and lost. They have a good team coming back, a lot of returning starters. Pike Road is going to be a team to watch in 6A to make some noise. And in 5A, I think Coach Jake Gaines and the crew playing Gainesville, Georgia. The first game of the season is going to help those guys out. Can't wait to be there with Hollywood. And Montgomery Catholic, they got to replace Cub McCrary, outstanding quarterback for them the last few years. Montgomery Catholic, a team to watch in 5A, an easy team to watch in 5A. And 4A, heavy favorite is Jackson. But my sleeper team, St. Michael's, Gunnar Rivers, sophomore quarterback. His dad, obviously, Flip Rivers, legendary quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. Nobody talks about St. Michael's, but they got a lot of new faces this year coming in to play for them. And those guys are going to be a fun team to watch in 4A, especially when they play Jackson this year. I expect them to play Jackson twice. And that second time is going to go to the state championship game. 3A, my pick is T.R. Miller. Just because of the fact Miles Johnson returns, you have Nathan Commander returning. The offensive line is going to be strong. A lot of good defensive backs returning for them. They stay healthy. They're going to be an easy favorite in 3A, but watch out for Houston Academy. Caden Mitchell comes back, his 4-year starter at quarterback. They also return their running backs and wide receivers. I think they lost 2 or 3 guys last year. Houston Academy is a team that nobody's really talking about. They should be talking about. People talk about T.R. Miller. They talk about Fife and Hillcrest. But Houston Academy is also an easy favorite to go and run the table in 3A. In 2A, I got Highland Home, and 1A, Elba, with Cottonwood and Leroy obviously being teams that also can make some noise in 1A and 2A.
I really like that St. Michael's. I took them in 4A also to as a sleeper team that could give Jackson, a game down the stretch. So I kind of thought along with you there too, Andrew, with St. Michael's.
Hey, if you watched St. Michael's last year, you saw a few guys that were 6'6" on the sideline. That wasn't a basketball team. There were some guys that came in and were ineligible to play last year. So I just want to mention that one. But
All right, is it my turn? Go ahead.
I want to say this. Montgomery Catholic dominated Moody in 5A 7-on-7, in case anybody wanted to know. I just got that tip information.
All right, is it my turn? Okay, it's probably going to be the worst picks of tonight, but this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's start right there in 7-8. Look, I believe this is the year the Auburn High Tigers get to the state championship, and they finally win it. They're returning Jackson Kilgore, who got hurt in the second game of the season due to a shoulder injury against Enterprise. They bring back their running back, who's only a junior, Omar Matheson. Omar, I know I'm going to say his last name wrong, but Omar is his name, and he's going to be a phenomenal running back in 7A, probably one of the best running backs in 7A. So, and then also my sleeper is Hoover. In 6A, of course, I am going with the land. Never bet against Saraland. I have always felt that. What happened to them in last year's state championship was unfortunate, but I like the Spartans this year to win it all. And hold on, they're coming back through. And my sleeper was Gulf Shores. Gulf Shores makes that jump up. Obviously, I think Saraland and Gulf Shores are going to be in the same region, so that's going to be a great one to see. UMS right. Terry Curtis and the crew in 5A. I think UMS Rice is going to have a pretty good squad. I know they play TR Miller. I think that's going to be a great one to watch. Two heavyweights, two powerhouses that are going to show up and compete. And my sleeper is Viger. Look, I thought about this one, and I was like, Viger just rehired Coach McKenzie. That Coach McKenzie led them to the state championship a few years ago, folks. Are we talking enough about Viger? Are we giving Viger an actual shot of making some noise in 5A? They're my sleeper team. In 4A, it is the Jackson Aggies and Coach Flo. I think they're just indestructible. I think they'll have a great year. Mobile Christian will be my sleeper. Like I said, these are my picks. I don't get paid for them. I'm just having fun. You might think they're horrible, but like Andrew said, if you're a betting man, don't go with my picks. As we go to 3A, I'm going to come back to 3A because that's going to take a lot. Going to 2A as it rolls across back to Team 2A, I have the Real Town Rebels returning back to the state championship, and now my sleeper is going to be Highland Home. I am interested in that one as well. And in 1A, I'm going to go with Leroy and my sleeper, the Georgiana Panthers. Don't sleep on Georgiana, folks. Coach
Not
Best
a bad
got them
list, Floyd.
Coach Best got them rolling down there or up there in Georgiana. I'm telling you, don't sleep on. Now in 3A, there's three different ways I can go. Obviously, TR Miller. And then Houston Academy. I think people are talking about them. And then you got Fife, and then you got Hillcrest Evergreen, who I think could possibly make the. I have had a lot of people texting me and talking to me about, man, don't y'all sleep on Hillcrest, don't sleep on Houston Academy. And I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna sleep on them. Nobody's gonna sleep on them. And unfortunately, only two teams can compete in Birmingham this year. So if I had to go with 3A, oh my goodness, this is just gonna break my heart. It's gonna break my heart so bad. I'm going to go with, I love my boys, but I guess I got to give them a little bulletin board material too. I'm a TR Miller alum through and through. I love my Tigers through and through. Give me Houston Academy as my sleeper and give me the TR Miller Tigers as my state champions in the 3A. I think Coach Hubbard has a well-oiled machine down there in Brewton. Obviously, the winner of the TR Miller Houston Academy game, if that were to happen, would win it. So I'm going to stick with Houston Academy as my sleeper, TR Miller as my outright champion in Class 3A. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Drink a sip of water, drink a sip of milk. I don't care. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I just got a message from Coach Flo. He said to clarify, he wanted everybody to know they play Saraland on the 23rd. People got confused when he talked about them considering a Thursday, but they do play Saraland on Friday the 23rd. Let's let everybody know that one. He wanted to make sure it gets out there. But I would tell you, Floyd, Viger pick is good, really good. Because a lot of people forget that Sammy Dunn from Bayside just transferred there, and he's one of the best rising quarterbacks in the state. And Coach John McKenzie, you see what he did with Mix when they won state in 4A, and now he's returning with a great dual threat quarterback. So that Viger pick, you might be pretty smart with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're muted.
So I know when I used to, obviously I don't follow Viger as much as I did in the past, and that's because I'm so involved with 7A football, and then obviously looking to wherever TR Miller plays, and that just consumes all my time. But from a distance, I know what Viger is capable of. We've seen them be dominant. We've seen them be a powerhouse. Let's not forget Viger beat Jackson to go to the state championship that they eventually won. Is that correct? I think isn't that how they played? I think
that was the first time we ever saw Lennon Duckworth. Walter Taylor went down, I think, the fourth quarter. And that was the first time we ever seen Lennon Duckworth as a quarterback at Jackson. I think the first pass or the second pass of his varsity career threw like a 60-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, so I am going to be and thank you, Quinn. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know if you like us or hate us. I don't know which one, but thank you for watching. We enjoyed your insight tonight. It was wonderful. We love hearing from all perspectives. But Mobile Christian best linebacker transferred to Viger. So, it goes to my point. I think Viger is capable of making some noise, and I think people on the zone said Viger the sleeper. No, bro, nah, bro. But I'm just saying. I think Viger can be. Look. How many times have we seen on the college? I'm pretty sure we've seen on the college level that a coach leaves, comes back, and makes history. And I think Coach McKenzie is a great fit. He was there before. He did great things. I think he'll continue to do. I'm having a tongue twister. He'll continue to do great things. Real time Coach Matt Johnson and Leroy and George. Look, I'm very high on Georgiana. I'm really really high on Georgiana. I'm really eager to see how they compete this year. I got a chance to meet Coach Best 2 years ago, and he's a great coach. And I think his team take after his personality. Auburn High School, this is year 25 of Coach Keith Etheridge. And I'm telling you, he knows how to coach. And look, he's been to multiple state championship games. And Auburn High, as a school system, they've been to the state championship twice. And they've lost them both in heartbreaking fashion. And then T.R. Miller, my alum, it's been over 20 years since T.R. Miller has played for a state championship or has won a
22.
state champion. It's been, like I said, over 22 years since T.R. Miller has played for a championship or won a state championship. And I think this is the year that curse comes to an end because they have, of course, they have Miles Johnson back. They have Eli Hubbard. They have Nathan Commander. They have John Robert Jernigan. They have Jordan Jolly. They have, oh Lord, I'm blanking on all these kids' names. Marshall Lovelace. I mean, they have all these great players, and they have those just seniors. There's juniors and sophomores that are capable of contributing for T.R. Miller this year, and we're going to see that against Reeltown. T.R. Miller and Reeltown is the AHSA kickoff classic in at the historic Crampton Bowl. I will be there. That's one of our games of the weeks. Somebody pick Moody, but guys, I think, and I have all the opening spreads on this screen with me, and I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of good football played the opening week. But these are my picks. And something Auburn High doesn't have to worry about championships, but I'm just saying, Opelika won't have to worry about one. I can tell you that they are the new coach. Opelika just needs to make it to the playoffs because they haven't been in 2 years. And I think this is the year Coach Moore gets them over that playoff hump and get Eric Speakman's down there at Faith Academy. I think Opelika needs some fresh blood. They got the fresh blood, and I think Coach Moore is going to do great things. They're going to be great on defense. They're going to be great on defense at the side of the ball. I know they got some transfers in on the defensive side of the ball, so I know Opelika is going to be great on the defensive side of the ball. Their goal is to get to the playoffs this year, and if they go beyond, that is great. I'll be rooting for them all the way. But I think for Opelika, you just have to make the playoffs.
Hey,
go ahead.
I want to say this because Charles mentioned it. Carver, a team in 7A that nobody's really talking about. Turbo Rogers comes back into the state from IMG. He was at Pike Road. Bama running back commit. Coach Bobby Carr. He's first year at Carver. A really successful coach at the Tallgate Academy. He's one of the most winningest coaches. He's tied with Mark Freeman for most wins in the state of Alabama. And nobody really knows that. So Bobby Carr, a legend, takes over Carver football program that, back in the day used to be a tough team to play. And now first year in 7A for him, first year ever as a head coach at a public school, spent last year at Alberta as offensive coordinator. Really going to be interesting to watch Carver and see how he can pan out with Anthony Rogers at running back and a really good quarterback as well. So it's going to be interesting in 7A. And obviously Miles Holcomb taking over Tuscaloosa County. Can he have a miraculous season and make Tuscaloosa County a competitor in his first year? But I'm really looking forward to seeing Carver in 7A and what Bobby Carr can do with that Carver team.
Detroit, you're around Hillcrest, and I know I didn't give Hillcrest the edge in my pick, but I gave them tough consideration. What's different about the Jaguars this year?
Play in on them, Detroit. Don't hold back.
I think it's just, motivation. I think they're going to be motivated by last year. Hillcrest was in a lot of games they could have won last year. They dropped right there at the end. And I think just having experience, they got a quarterback now who they feel really comfortable with. Last year, he was kind of learning the system, but now under his second year under Coach Nard, he's going to be a lot more comfortable. And I tell you, if Hillcrest can get their quarterback play like they want it, they're going to be a team that's going to be really tough to beat as the year goes on. I mean, they got the athletes. Hillcrest has always had the athletes. It's just been able to put it together. And I think this is going to be the year that Hillcrest is a quarterback. They're going to get the quarterback. And, of course, Justin Nard was a quarterback himself. So, he's learning from the best. And he's kind of molded him into that. And I feel like that gives Hillcrest a good chance. But, if I look at 3A, man, like you said, there's 4 teams right there. Obviously Miller and Hillcrest is going to put each other out before a championship game. And possibly even Houston Academy. Fife is probably, I wouldn't say got an easy route, but they're probably one of the more favorites from the North. They're probably going to be there in Birmingham, unless somebody. There could be somebody that challenges them. I won't say that won't, but you get to that South region, Houston Academy, T.R. Miller, and Hillcrest. They're going to eventually. One of them's got to put each other out to get to Birmingham, so it's going to happen.
I think the South is as strong as it has ever been. Does anybody disagree with that statement?
Mm-mm. And I'm going to tell you something else. The more interest I see on these comments and all, I'm really looking forward to Viger. I mean, they've gotten a few transfers from what I've seen in the comments. And the more you talk about it, I think they're going to be a team, just looking now. I didn't really have them on my radar in 5A, but after learning a little bit, and getting our coach back, I think Viger's going to be a team to reckon with this year in 5A. And I'm going to be really kind of watching them throughout the season.
Yeah, Viger, when Floyd mentioned, I didn't forget about him. But when I made these picks, I forgot to take in consideration that John McKenzie was back. But, looking at football as a whole, I do think strongly that state championship appearance is going to be made by 4A Region or 3A Region 1 again, just like it was a few years ago when Mill and Hillcrest played and Hillcrest win, and when Bayside played Hillcrest and Bayside win. It's 3A Region 1 was a strong region a few years ago. Now I think it's going to be a strong region again, to where a state champion might come out of that region, but at least a state championship appearance will come out of one of those from one of those teams. But if Hillcrest, there's been a lot of hype. We've seen Coach Nara put on Facebook, receipts have been kept, and we've heard people say, this is Hillcrest year, second year under Nara, they expect big things, which is crazy for a program with a second year head coach, but he has a lot of returning talent.
Who's in? Hold on, let me pull up 7A Region 3. Hold on, 1, 2. Oh, that's that Prattville. That's like the A. That's not even the SEC West, the East. That's like an NFL South, AFC, whatever they call. Because you got Prattville, you have Tuscaloosa County, you have Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, you have Hewitt Trustful, you have Thompson, and you have Hoover.
Mm.
And I know I didn't even expound upon Hoover. They got a new coach. They got some fresh blood in there. I think Coach Gilmer's going to be the man for the job at Hoover, and I think he can do some great things with that roster. Obviously, you got to beat your region. You got to beat Thompson, because here's the thing in that region: Hoover and Thompson always seems to play each other again. Auburn and Central always seem to play each other again. But see, this year there's a different format, so now you could get Hoover Thompson in the championship game. You can get Auburn Central in the championship game. I think I didn't look at the bracket, but I know they got a new format going around. But you can see some of these matchups later, or you could see Hoover Auburn first round. You probably could see Hoover whoever first round. Because the way the new playoff set up. And if I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. But I know the playoff format is different now. Well, this year or the next 2 years is different in Class 7A. Strong would be the Strong Tigers will be a good team to watch this year. Like I said, I think the South is as great as it's ever been. And I almost said something. I almost said it anyway. I can tell you what team that ain't gonna be strong. I'm just playing. I ain't gonna do Ed Delusion like that. I love Ed Delusion. I was gonna do Charles because he wasn't on here, but I love Ed Delusion. I love the Golden Gate. That's the barbecue place down there. And then the Golden Rule. Yeah, it was really. I'm just sorry. I'm a foodie.
Yeah, it's going to be the dynasty's going downhill in Illusia, because obviously today we sent Charles some insight from AHS or the football history page, and Charles told us every single one of those players on there ain't involved in Illusia no more. So Charles, we're here for you. Prayers are with you. And this year, man, listen, you got Op over there that might be good for you. Strong. Carol of Ozark's a good bandwagon team to hop on. Coach
and they said if we said Viger, but Central Nail is loaded this year. So I'm thinking, hold on, let you answer that question. You said, what's Flomaton is going to be a team that competes. Somebody told me, gosh, I'm just giving out. I'm not going to say what somebody told me. People give me a lot of bulletin board.
Yeah, you need to shut your mouth. You shut your mouth on that one.
Yeah. People give me a lot of bulletin board material. But I'm just going to keep that to myself. But folks, the South is going to be good this year. Screenshot what? Oh, my!
If you're in a 5A, If you're in 5A, a coach, if you're Coach Malone, Coach Wyndham, Coach Juice, who else is over there? I don't know Greenwood's coach. The rest of y'all can screenshot it too. Charles,
Oh
the dynasty
goodness.
is not dead.
It's been fun. It's truly been fun tonight. And oh, Carver, Montgomery, Sidney Lanier dissolved. Those kids went elsewhere, and some went to Carver. And I think that's going to be another reason why Carver is not going to be a team to sleep on this year. Um, but at the end of the day, that region that Carver Montgomery is in, with Opelika, with Central, with Auburn High School, with Enterprise, with Dothan. Nobody's talking about Enterprise. Nobody's talking about Dothan. Just saying, folks.
And Dothan Dothan will play Carver. Dang, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, all I
I'm
can
trying
say
to
is
think about.
this.
You get Orange Beach.
Go ahead, Detroit.
All I can say is I'm just ready for the first game of the season.
Oh,
Let's get this thing
absolutely.
underway.
Absolutely. Let's see if I still got. No, I ain't got them. Oh, here we go. The Powerhouse Sports Alabama Georgia kickoff classic between the Gainesville Red Elephants and the Moody Blue Devils. Andrew and Charles Hollywood Wilkerson will be on location for that one in Moody, Alabama. And this is our first ever, the inaugural Alabama Georgia Classic. Hopefully, Gainesville will set more games. We'll be able to find more opponents for the opening weeks in the years to come, and we'll be there at every one of them if we can be. And then the next one we have the AHSAA Kickoff Classic, the Powerhouse Sports Game of the Week between the Real-Town Rebels and the T.R. Miller Tigers at the historic Crampton Bowl in the capital city of Montgomery, Alabama. So our two games of the weeks to open up the season have been announced with Gainesville and Moody and T.R. Miller and Real-Town. So folks, it is going to be a great time for those two games. But folks, any last questions from the viewers? Andrew, Detroit, any last thoughts from you as we get ready to wrap it all up?
I just want to say I'm excited to go to Moody with Charles. Obviously, Gaines was a school that we've covered since day one, since Josh Nibbett arrived, and people thought we were crazy for doing it. But Gainesville, Georgia, has not lost a single regular season game since Josh Nibbett has been region game. Is that right?
That's true. They've never lost. They've never lost.
But has lost a single regular season game since Josh Nibbett's been there. Obviously, Jake Gaines was at Thompson. He coached against Josh Nibbett when he was at Hoover, and now they get to be coaching against each other. It's going to be the biggest game. This beats out Rush Prote's first game at Pell City. This beats out anything of that nature. Josh Nibbett is coming back to where it all started. One of the most successful coaches in the state.
You just had to mention Rush Pro. So, for what? Like, what satisfaction?
Because he left out of state and came back. He left. He was at Hoover. He left, and he came back. Josh was at Hoover. He left to go to Georgia, and he's coming back. Same thing happened.
Andrew, no.
Yes.
The point you're trying to make is not there. So stop trying to make it a point. It's not there, man.
It is a point.
It's not.
It is a point
in your head, but it's not a point. It's not a point. But go continue.
Hey, so, some people like Rush as a coach. Okay, I did until But anyway, I'll stop. It's okay. I'll stop. That's fine.
Can't hear you.
Good, because I ain't got nothing to say. So I'm just listening to Andrew. Mm-hmm.
For that to be a hater, it's okay. I didn't mean
I'm
to
not a hater.
You did.
I just want to say one thing, Floyd, and I'll let y'all have it. I just want to thank all the schools and the teams that we're able to cover. I know some we don't get to cover like we want to, but I appreciate y'all giving us opportunities to come in your stadiums and letting us in the games and do the coverage. All the schools out there, I wish we could be at more places on Friday nights, but I just want to thank every school that's in our region that we do cover and we try to cover for the opportunity, just letting us come in and do what we love to do, and that's to be able to cover the kids. So before the season starts, On my behalf, I just want to thank all the schools and head coaches out there for dealing with media like us. I know sometimes it can be a distraction, but just thank you for allowing us to come in and be able to cover your kids and you guys.
As someone said in the comments, hashtag new Central. But Detroit, I echo those sentiments. We thank you guys so much because we wouldn't be able to do what we do unless you guys tune in and pay attention and listen to our stuff, even though if our stuff is far right or far left and just doesn't make sense. So Detroit, he's talking where we're going to eat. But look, before we get out of here, I'm going to give you a couple,
barbecue.
I'm going to give you a couple spreads that I have in front of me. We're going to start with Enterprise at the game at Andalusia.
No,
No,
Andalusia goes to Enterprise.
Oh, wait, hold on.
They go to Enterprise.
For the first game of the season?
Yes, because Charles got to drive back.
Okay. All right, so Enterprise and Andalusia. Andalusia is a 26-point underdog against Enterprise.
What did you just say?
They are a 26-point underdog. Andalusia is a 26-point underdog against Enterprise.
I would have said 30.
Lord have mercy. I'm trying to find that one. Hillcrest and BC Rain. BC Rain is a 21-point favorite. Pike Road and Prattville. Pike Road's only a half a point favorite over Prattville. TR Miller is an 11-point favorite over Reeltown. We already said the Saraland and Jackson. Jackson being a 35-point underdog. Georgiana and Greenville. Greenville's being a 29-point favorite. Who else? I guess Auburn High is a 34-point favorite over North Miami Beach. UMS Wright and St. Paul, the Battle of Old Shell Road to open up the season. St. Paul is a 15-point favorite against UMS Wright. Milry at Central. Central is a 25-point favorite over Milry. Leroy and Thomasville. Thomasville being a 21-point favorite over Leroy. Who else? I don't think the Gainesville Moody one's on here. I don't think it's on here. St. Michael's Bayside Academy. Bayside Academy is a 1.5-point favorite.
Ooh.
Over who?
St. Michael's, Bayside and St. Michael's. Viger and Blunt. Viger's a 7.5-point favorite over Blunt. And Orange Beach is a 20-point underdog against Alberta.
Orange Beach losing number. Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing about that one.
Holland Home and Strawn. Strawn is a 5.5-point underdog. And yep, that's all I have of the major games in our area. So Elba Luverne, let's see. Elba, do they play? Or
hey, I do want to say Charles has told me the Enterprise is coming to Andalusia. But the schedule, I could have swore Andalusia's schedule said they're going to Enterprise unless it changed.
Well, on here it says Enterprise at Andalusia. Oh, someone just texted me and said Andalusia actually hosts Enterprise this year. Thank you so much. All right, I'm sorry, folks. I'm looking at these spread. You know what?
Charles.
I was waiting for Andrew to say something about the spread after it was at home.
I forgot I can share my screen.
Hey, since it's at home, instead of 26, make it 25.
Let's see. I can share my screen. Oh, perfect. Hold on. Let me blow it up a little bit.
I can't read this thing.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me see. Is it there? Ooh.
Hey, that's a little
there
closer.
We go. All right. Here we go. Let's see. We can Jackson and Saraland. We already talked about that one. Someone said Brantley and Opp and Elba and Luverne.
I'm not a fan of Massey
Saraland's
rankings.
actually a 35-point favorite.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if Saraland was actually a 35-point favorite.
I wouldn't make that up. That was
funny.
No, why would I be funny?
I think it's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot, but
that's a lot.
Leeds, Baker, Theodore.
Coach Juan. Hey, Coach Juan Johnson's first game was at Theodore.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Coach Johnson.
Chalk-the-Hatchie and Gulf Shores.
That's a nice school over there in Fort Walton.
I don't see. I'm probably have to scroll up or down. I am scrolling up. Am I going too fast? I hope I'm not going too fast, folks.
What about Brantley and all? Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Yeah. Here go Gainesville and Moody. Gainesville is a 34.5-point favorite over the Moody Blue Devils. 34.5, folks. 34.5. Look, when we say we don't make up our spreads, we don't make them up. This is what the spreads say right here. All right, let's see. Clark County.
So
16-point
I got a
favorite
text and said Andalusia's senior night is against Enterprise.
the first
Now,
game
why
of
would
the
they do a
season.
thing why would they do a thing like that against Enterprise?
Spanish
Continue
Florida
for what
is
I'm
Fair
doing.
Hope, 5.5. Okay. I'm about to zoom by really fast, folks. I'm so sorry. I don't want to hurt your eyes. Okay. Elba Luverne. Elba is a 20.5-point favorite over Luverne. And someone said Brantley and Opp.
I'm gonna bet Brantley's like a 14-point favorite.
Grayson and Thompson. Thompson only a 13.5-point favorite over Grayson.
That game will be on ESPN too.
Yes, it will. Vestavia Hills is 33.5-point favorite over Carvin Montgomery.
Good God, Mike.
And we did Highland Home and Strong. I must pass up because I still don't see him.
Who is Montgomery at Pace? Who is that? Who's playing at Pace first game of the season?
Oh, look
Go back up. Right there. What Montgomery is that?
Montgomery Vikings. See him. Oh, Mary G. Montgomery.
They're playing at Pace. Oh, my God. MGM.
Oh, okay. Brantley and Opp might not show up on the spreads because it's just a preseason game. It's not a regular season game, so it won't go on anybody's record. So yeah. But yeah, folks, that is the spreads. Any last suggestions? I'm glad we got 70-something people because we just rambling at this point. I'm glad they're still watching.
I can't wait to see Coach Flo this year. I'll tell you that. I'm sorry, that was random.
Escambia County is a 14.5-point underdog to Alabama Christian. XL and Lee Scott. I forgot XL comes up here to Auburn and Lee Scott. What happened? Oh.
We didn't even talk about Lee Scott either, did we?
Lee Scott didn't talk about Lee Scott. Lee Scott making the jump to the AHSAAs after being in the AISA, but XL is listed as a 20.5-point underdog to Lee Scott. Now, see, I think Lee Scott has a fairly easy region to skip through. They have a good, tough non-con. Lord, I said non-con like it's college. A good non-region schedule, but I mean, they're making the jump from AISA to AHSA. Can that be a big difference? Like, I don't know. So I guess I'm eager to see that as well. But yeah, I got all about Lee Scott Academy. Welcome to the Big Boy League.
Who is it? Them and Glenwood made the jump to AHSA?
Them and Glenwood, yep.
Woo! Hey, Detroit, you're gonna
Houston Academy. Houston Academy is a 24.5-point favorite over GW Long. And I think that'll about do it, folks. That'll
Charles
just
Henderson.
about.
Wait, go down.
To what?
Dang, Charles Henderson, a 51-point favorite at Pike County. That's crazy. How do you come with 64 points, 54 points, 53, 60?
What are you looking at?
They're 28.5.
Yeah, 28.5.
I was looking at them. I was looking over.
Oh, boy. Floyd, put him in line.
Detroit, I beat Drew, y'all guy. I'm not associated with Andrew Edwards anymore.
I was looking too far over. Floyd had this thing spinning too fast. I was dizzy.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through. All right. Now that's interesting right here. St. Michael's Bayside.
They must have done that before Sammy left.
That's interesting. I don't know.
I'm
That's all.
skeptical about this Massey rating.
Look now. Look, I will say this. I will say this. Massey, there has been times where Massey has been right on the dot. Like he's been right on the dot when it comes to these ratings, and I mean that's why I think he's reliable in some cases. But now, is Saraland gonna actually beat Jackson by 35 like it says on here? I don't know. I don't think so. But I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't know until they get on the gridiron.
We do need to advertise this, so if everybody watching, and if you know anybody that would love to do it, let us know. On Friday nights, we're going to have our annual Powerhouse Sports post-game shows, but this year it's going to be a little bit different. On Fridays, we're going to be posting the link to one of these shows that we do right here on our – hey, come on, man. Come
Just
on.
talk.
Come
Talk.
on.
You scared.
Come on. I am scared. Don't do that. So we're going to be posting the link to one of our shows on our page. You can always hop on and do what we do, or be like Detroit and hide your face. But we'd love to have one of the fans or that came to a game or went to a game give us some insight on where they were at, some things they saw, and different things like that. Just to add a difference and give some different perspectives of the games we couldn't go to, like some games that might have been worthy of a game of the week that we don't have enough people to cover. But just to hop on and talk to us about it. And this season on Thursday nights for one of our game of the weeks, we're going to have some guest pickers on Thursday as well. So if you're interested in that, we're always going to try to have a chance for you to come on Thursdays. Same way, we're going to post a link, and then you can hop on and give us your picks about why you think so-and-so would win. And you never know, you might be picked. And like I said, on Friday nights, if you're interested in coming on and giving us a post-game recap, you're more than welcome. We're just going to go until basically it's too late tonight and we can't stay awake anymore. Or as Floyd would say, midnight.
I like that, Drew. In interaction with our fans more, let them get involved too with the show.
Floyd, why are you looking confused, man? You sleepy?
No, because you talk about until we can't stay up no more, man.
That's why I said midnight.
Ain't not gonna be on midnight. No, that's you.
It's okay. Betty keeps me awake. He gets me entertained.
Ooh.
I just can't wait to see. I just can't wait to see Coach Flo and shake his hand.
It is going to be. Why are you? Never mind. It is going to be a fun opening season. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. As always, our past two shows have probably been has just put up astronomical numbers. I know today it hit a high, and then on the Escambia County Media Day, it hit a high as well. And we are so looking forward to covering your child, your school, your alma mater, whatever the case may be. If you are family of a coach, a wife, a dad, whatever, we're excited to cover them all this season, as the 2024 football season is just around the corner. But folks, as we mentioned, Gainesville, Georgia Red Elephants and the Moody, Alabama Blue Devils, Alabama, Georgia Powerhouse Sports first ever Alabama, Georgia kickoff classic in Moody, Alabama.
When you finish first, and I'm gonna let you know. I just want to get your attention first.
And then T.R. Miller and the Real Town Rebels in the historic Crampton Bowl for the AHSAA kickoff classic on the same day, August 22nd at 7 p.m. Andrew?
And I know us as a group have talked about it, and I just wanted to mention it on here. Powerhouse Sports, we have the ability to. We're going to try to go to some different homecoming games. I know I'll be attending some. I know if Michael is free from Auburn, he'll be attending some. I know that Detroit's kind of, he's with Hillcrest this year doing the radio again, and we're thankful he does that. And you have a chance to listen to Hillcrest on the radio, listen to Detroit, one of the best play-by-play guys in the state for high school football. If you love hearing referees get yelled at, listen to Detroit.
Listen to Detroit. Listen to Detroit. And I thought I yelled at officials. Detroit be giving them the blues. But look, I will say this before you continue, Andrew. If you ain't cheering for Hillcrest, don't even turn it on, because the radio is for Hillcrest and Hillcrest only. So if you ain't a Hillcrest fan, don't turn it on. But if you are, just want to listen from a Hillcrest perspective, you'll definitely get it at 101.1 FM WPPG, the Power Pig.
I'm gonna continue to say this when we get. Yeah, Becky, that was funny, wasn't it? Becky's laughing too. But no, this year Powerhouse Sports is going to be attending some homecoming games this season. So you can drop a comment here on any of our posts. If you want Powerhouse Sports to try to attend one of your homecoming games this year and come party with you guys on homecoming, let us know who you are playing and why we should come when you have homecoming games. You never know. We might just show up and have a good time with you. But we're going to try to, interact more this year with fans and just going to have a good time watching good football and experience some traditions that we haven't seen before.
Well, look, I'm going to let you know October the 11th and possibly the 12th, Powerhouse Sports will be in Bruton, Alabama for T.R. Miller homecoming. I've been out of school for 5 years, y'all. Wow. T.R. Miller will be coming October the 11th.
I guess that he's sleepy, dog. I'm sorry.
I guess we can spend the last whatever. Just listen to Becky laugh. But for Detroit, anything else?
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm just ready for some football. Enjoy the show tonight.
I have as well Detroit and Andrew, folks. Football season is right around the corner. Andrew has listed off a lot of stuff, so I'm going to go back through it real quickly. We're doing guest pickers on Thursday. If you want to do that, please inbox us. We're also doing special guests for our post-game shows on Friday nights. If you want to be a part of that, just inbox us. We have 2 kickoff classics, the Alabama-Georgia kickoff classic and the ASSA kickoff classic, Powerhouse Sports game of the week. What else did Andrew talk about?
Homecoming.
Homecoming. The homecoming series, Powerhouse Sports homecoming series is making its way this year. I know we plan on being at T.R. Miller's homecoming. I think it might be Jackson's homecoming as well. So might even be at a Hillcrest homecoming. Hillcrest know how to homecoming as well. So a lot of homecomings. So it is going to be a very fun show this year. We can't wait to be back. We'll be back next week when who's all joining us next week?
Oh, so next Tuesday we got the Hillcrest Evergreen Jaguars, who's Justin Nard and a few of his players from Hillcrest. Detroit lined that one up, or me and Detroit both lined that one up, I'll say. Detroit lined up Uri, J.E. Blackshear. If you don't know what Uri is, he'll be on. Their coach will be on some players as well. And he lined up Coach Phillips and the XL Panthers. They'll be on as well. So a lot of shows on Tuesday. The next Thursday, for the first time ever, we'll have the Bullock County, or the Yellow Jackets and the Hornets.
Just say Bullock County High School.
Bullock County High School in Union Springs, Alabama. They're going to be, Cantrell lied to me earlier, but they're going to be on the show for the first time ever. The only school in Bullock County is what I was told today, and they're going to talk about their season they have coming up, and we're excited about that one too. So next Tuesday and Thursday.
Folks, that'll do it from us here at Powerhouse Sports. We can't wait to see you next week. Football season is around the corner. Andrew Etheridge, Detroit Webb. I'm Michael Floyd saying so long, everybody.